Let's move on to number 3. We have absolute value of 2 minus x plus 3 equals 5. We cannot apply the property here. Why? We cannot apply that yet unless we get rid of 3. So don't put that, don't apply the property immediately. It's not correct to do that because we have 3 outside your absolute value. So here we have plus 3. We get rid of that before applying the property. So we have the absolute value of 2 minus x. Should we get rid of 3? So minus 3 minus 3. The result will be absolute value of 2 minus x. Of course, we have 0 there now equals 2. That's the only time we can apply your property. There's no number outside the absolute value, then you can apply the property now. So we have 2 minus x equals negative 2, or 2 minus x equals 2. Let's solve for x here. Getting rid of negative x means we have to subtract both sides by 2. We have negative x equals negative 4, but negative x should be positive, so we divide, or we can multiply either of those. Divide by negative 1, negative x divided by negative 1 is positive x, and that's equal to 4. About 2 minus x. Minus 2 here, minus 2, bring down negative x. 2 minus 2 is 0. We divide both sides by negative x, negative 1. What is x? 0. So our solution in this example is the set 0, 0, 4. Here is example 4. Absolute value of 7/2 x plus 3 equals negative 5. Can we apply the property here? We can't. Why? This absolute value here cannot be equal to a negative number. This should always be positive. All right. The absolute value is always positive. Because when we talk about absolute value, this is actually your distance, the distance from 0. So I can show you that to convince you that this is not possible. When we say absolute value of 5, it's simply the distance of a number 5 from 0. So what's the distance of 5 from 0? It is equal to 5. How about the distance of negative 5 from 0? Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5 here. It's also 5. So when we have this absolute value of 7/2 x plus 2 equals negative 5, that's not possible because this should be positive. So we say there is no solution, right? So watch out for this. This should always be negative. But don't just look at this. You always have to simplify. What if by simplifying it becomes positive? Then that means you can't solve it. But here you cannot simplify it anymore, right? You can't, because this one is isolated on one side. There's no number outside, no number outside. So that means you can't use the property. That means we have no solutions. Oh, let me correct that. It doesn't mean that you cannot use the property, but by using the property, it means that you cannot rewrite it into this form. You cannot rewrite it into this form. Because the property says if absolute value of x equals a, where a is always positive, then x is equal to negative a, or x is equal to a. So here, there's no solutions. Unless you make that positive, so you can solve it, but it's not the case, right? There are cases when your solution, I mean your inequality could be like this. Say we have 7 halves x plus 3 equals -5, but you have a negative there, I mean negative, then you can solve, right? Because when you simplify this, you can divide it by -1, and this becomes positive. This becomes positive, then you can apply the property. Oh, there should be an X there.